For over 3,300 years, Nefertiti walked the earth, her name whispered in temples, her face immortalized in limestone. Her tomb was lost, her body unknown. Now scientists claim they've finally found a mummy whose DNA links her to Egypt's royal bloodline. The lab results suggest she may have been part of the same dynasty as Tutankhamun. If she truly is Nefertiti, it could rewrite everything we know about ancient Egypt's greatest queen. But the truth is far more unsettling than discovery, and much less certain. The legacy and the void. For millennia, Nefertiti has stood as one of history's most iconic queens. Her image, most famously the Nefertiti bust, discovered in 1912 and now world-renowned, gives a face to ancient Egypt's splendor and ambition. Yet despite her fame, after more than 3,300 years, no confirmed tomb or mummy has ever been definitively identified as hers. Archaeological and historical records support her prominence. She was the great royal wife of Akhenaten, mother or stepmother of princes and princesses, and during the Amarna period, a queen with unusual influence, politically, religiously, and artistically. Despite that, she vanishes from the historical records shortly after year 12 of Akhenaten's reign. There is no burial inscription, no known tomb inscription, no funerary name cartouche for her after that point. The known facts about Nefertiti, her statues, her inscriptions on monuments, her role in religious reforms, give texture to her life. But those remain only skin and art. Art alone cannot identify a body or trace her final resting place. The absence of definitive remains forms a haunting gap. How did a queen so visible in life vanish so thoroughly in death? That gap gives rise to a haunting question. Did she die in obscurity? Was her body hidden, destroyed, or reburied? Or was she intentionally erased, part of a political purge after the turbulent Amarna era? Modern Egyptology suggests these are real possibilities. Modern tools and archaeological advances have reopened this ancient riddle. Enter a tomb called Cave 521, one of the few viable leads in the quest to find Nefertiti's remains. Enter Cave 21. Deep in the Valley of the Kings, not far from known royal tombs, lies a little-known sepulchre called Cave 21. First discovered in 1817 by the explorer Giovanni Belzoni, it was long ignored, but in modern times it resurfaced as a candidate in the search for Nefertiti's remains. Inside Cave 521 were two female mummies, long designated Cave 21A and Cave 21B. For decades, their identities remained speculative. Preservation was poor, inscriptions missing, and DNA degradation made early analysis inconclusive. Starting around 2010, renewed efforts involving DNA sequencing, mitochondrial lineage comparisons, and CT scans aimed to place them within the broader web of the 18th dynasty royals. For Cave 21B, mitochondrial DNA appeared consistent with the royal line of that era, a tantalizing clue that she might belong to the same family as Nefertiti. This possibility reignited hope among Egyptologists and the public alike. If Cave 21B were Nefertiti, it would close a 3,300-year-old mystery. The idea that a queen so famous in life might now lie unknown under a half-forgotten tomb stirred both scholarly seriousness and popular fascination. But DNA and lineage are only the beginning. Next came physical study, the CT scans, measurements, and examination of burial posture for clues, to see if Cave 21B might match what we know of Nefertiti. The science and the caveats. In the 2010 genetic study of royal mummies, researchers mapped out a 5-generation pedigree of the late 18th dynasty. Within this framework, Cave 21B was linked via maternal lineage to the broader royal family, a necessary but not sufficient condition for identification as Nefertiti. Beyond genetics, physical evidence offered additional, though inconclusive, details. CT scans estimate that Cave 21B died at around 45 years old. Bone degeneration, dentition wear, and skeletal features match a mature adult woman. Her left arm was positioned over her chest, a queenly pose often seen in royal female mummies, suggesting status and possibly intentional burial rituals. Yet experts caution these traits, age estimate, arm position, royal lineage, are circumstantial, not definitive. Many royal women from that era could share similar mitochondrial DNA, and burial pose or mummification style can reflect practices of the period rather than identity. Without a nameplate, inscription, or unique artifact bearing Nefertiti, identification remains speculative. Indeed, previous candidates, such as another mummy called the Younger Lady from tomb K535, were once proposed as Nefertiti based on similar reasoning. But later genetic and forensic studies contradicted that claim, leaving the Younger Lady conclusively ruled out as Nefertiti. Thus, while the science of DNA and imaging has brought us closer than ever, the gap remains wide. The body beneath KV21b remains formally unidentified. The mystery of Nefertiti's final resting place, and whether we will ever know her remains, endures. The grave hypothesis. After centuries of silence, one bold theory emerged. Maybe the queen's body wasn't lost. Maybe it was hidden. Some researchers propose that after the turbulent end of Akhenaten's reign, the remains of Nefertiti were deliberately reburied or concealed, either to protect her from tomb robbers or to erase her memory after the religious upheaval of the Amarna period. Part of this theory points to a phenomenon archaeologists call secondary burials, where tombs were emptied, contents moved, or bodies relocated to caches to safeguard royal remains from desecration. Some suggest Nefertiti's final resting place might lie hidden under rubble, or merged with other royal tombs, possibly even reburied among lesser-known mummies awaiting rediscovery. The motivation for such concealment may have been deeply political. After Akhenaten's death and the return to traditional religious practices, Nefertiti, once queen and possibly co-regent, might have been viewed as a symbol of heretical reforms. Erasing her tomb or hiding her body would fit a pattern of rewriting memory. But if true, the concealment raises grim questions. How many tombs were lost, destroyed, or overwritten? How much of royal burial practice was tampered with? And how many identities remain unknown beneath the sands, shielded by time, politics, and silence? Yet one of the most dramatic proposals shifts the search from buried caches to a place already known, but hiding something unexpected. The tomb of Nefertiti might lie inside another pharaoh's tomb. The hidden chamber theory. In 2015, British Egyptologist Nicholas Reeves caused waves when he announced a daring hypothesis that Nefertiti's tomb might be concealed behind hidden doorways in the burial chamber of Tutankhamun, tomb K562 in the Valley of the Kings. Reeves argued that high-resolution scans of the plastered walls showed outlines of two sealed partitions, one in the north wall, another in the west wall, possibly hiding one or more secret rooms. According to the proposal, the tomb may have originally been built for a queen, not Tutankhamun, and later adapted. The theory hypothesizes that after Nefertiti's burial, a blocking wall was built. When Tutankhamun died prematurely, he was interred in the available chamber, and the decorations repainted. Reeves even suggested that some funerary items and the famous gold mask may have been originally made for Nefertiti. The theory gained traction after radar imaging scans in 2015 to 2016 by the authorities overseeing Egyptian antiquities reportedly detected voids behind the walls, possible empty spaces containing organic or metallic materials. Many media outlets speculated that Nefertiti's mummy might at last have been located. If true, the discovery would reshape Egyptian history, fill a 3,300-year gap, restore the queen's place in the afterlife, and link artifacts to a real person. It could clarify the fate of the Amarna royals, fill in missing puzzle pieces, and answer the haunting question, where did Nefertiti end up? Yet the excitement met skepticism. As researchers probed deeper, the hidden tomb hypothesis cracked under scrutiny, revealing how fragile such theories can be without final proof. The critiques and why skepticism remains. Not everyone accepted the hidden chamber theory. Starting in 2018, follow-up ground-penetrating radar, GPR, scans and imaging refuted earlier results. They found no conclusive evidence of voids behind the walls of KOF 62, undermining claims that secret rooms exist. The lead archaeological authorities concluded that the tomb shows no hidden chambers. Scholars have also warned that much of the evidence, tall outlines, plaster cracks, shadows, can result from ordinary structural irregularities, past restorations, or natural settling. One 2021 review described the joint burial hypothesis as speculative and heavily reliant on interpretive leaps rather than solid data. Even for alternative candidates like KV-21, a tomb containing 2 female mummies thought possibly royal, DNA analyses remain tenuous. While one mummy, KV-21b, is linked to the 18th dynasty by mitochondrial lineage, DNA degradation is too severe for definitive identity. Without inscriptions, nameplates, or unique artifacts, she remains an anonymous royal woman, not a confirmed Nefertiti. In other proposed locations, family tombs, caches, reburial sites, the political, environmental, and historical disturbances across millennia mean that any remains may have been lost, moved, or damaged beyond recognition. That leaves us with hypotheses, not answers. As of now, no discovery has provided the smoking gun. So the search continues. The mystery endures, not because of lack of trying, but because the ancient past resists certainty. And for Nefertiti, the sands of Egypt still keep their secret. New claims and recent headlines. In 2022, the debate revived with renewed energy after a claim that newly observed hieroglyphics inside Tutankhamun's tomb might conceal references to Nefertiti, suggesting her body lies behind plastered-over passages. This hypothesis reopened global fascination. If true, it could finally answer where the famed queen of the Amarna era ended up. Media outlets and some researchers described it as a possible earthquake in Egyptology, rekindling hope that after approximately 3,300 years, the mystery might be solved. Adding momentum, proponents pointed out anomalies from previous imaging. In a 2015 study, infrared and ground-penetrating radar, GPR, scans of the tomb walls had detected irregularities, temperature differentials, density variations, that some interpreted as voids or concealed compartments. As a result, archaeological teams announced plans for renewed, advanced scanning campaigns, using updated radar, thermal imaging, and non-invasive surveying to check every inch behind the north and west walls of the burial chamber. For many, the possibility that Nefertiti lies undisturbed behind generations of secrecy feels both thrilling and sobering. But every bold claim invites scrutiny. As the headlines rose, so did the voices of caution, reminding that in Egyptology, hope must be weighed against proof. The critiques and counter-evidence. Despite the excitement, a major blow came in 2018 when the most comprehensive radar scan of the tomb, coordinated by international teams under the supervision of Egypt's antiquities authorities, concluded there were no hidden chambers behind the north or west walls of Tutankhamun's tomb. These results were reinforced by geophysical experts and Egyptologists who argued that the earlier anomalies could be explained by sensor noise, stone irregularities, or natural structural fractures, not by hidden voids or tomb extensions. Further, critics point out that the kind of reinterpretation required, e.g., claiming that painted-over cartouches represent an earlier burial for Nefertiti, rests on reinterpretation of centuries-old art and repainting, which is highly speculative. Even among those open to hidden tomb theories, many caution that without physical excavation, inscriptional evidence, or a verified mummified body, all proposed identifications remain hypothetical. Until clear artifacts, name plaques, burial goods, DNA matching are found, academic consensus remains that Nefertiti's final resting place remains unknown. Still, restriction and silence don't end the search. Instead, discovery or failure depends on few hard facts. What we do know continues to challenge us. The what-ifs. If all current leads fail, no hidden chamber, no matching mummy, then perhaps her tomb was lost forever. It might have been destroyed, looted, or deliberately erased during the political and religious upheaval that followed her husband Akhenaten's reign. Many scholars believe that after Amarna collapsed, royal remains were reburied hastily or relocated to obscure caches to evade tomb robbers, meaning some royal bodies may never be recoverable. Alternatively, identity may remain forever ambiguous. Even if a mummy is found, degraded DNA, incomplete skeletal remains, or lack of inscriptions could prevent a confident match. This was the problem with earlier candidates like the so-called younger lady from Tomb Cave 35, once speculated to be Nefertiti, later ruled out by DNA and genealogical analysis. For historians and archaeologists, the absence of proof doesn't mean absence of truth, but it does demand humility. The story of Nefertiti may remain a puzzle whose final piece is lost to time, a reminder that human memory, politics, and decay can outlast even the greatest monuments. And yet, in that loss lies a subtle power, a question that endures, inspiring generations to keep digging, not just for relics, but for truth. The final question. The search for Nefertiti's tomb is more than academic curiosity. Finding her resting place, or definitively proving it cannot be found, would reshape our understanding of ancient Egypt's last dynasties, succession crises, religious upheaval, and how memory itself was controlled. It would humanize a queen known mostly through art and legend. It also matters for cultural heritage and identity. For Egypt and for the world, resolving this mystery could restore dignity and story to millions of untold lives, descendants of a civilization whose secrets were buried under sand, time, and in silence. From a scientific perspective, it's about method. Whether interdisciplinary archaeology, combining DNA, imaging, geological surveying, can finally overcome the erasure of millennia. If successful, this model applies beyond Egypt, to any ancient lost culture, tomb, or civilization erased or repressed. And finally, it's about memory, justice, and respect. Nefertiti was more than a statue. Perhaps she was more than her legacy. If her body lies undiscovered, she deserves not myth, but recognition. A tomb, a name, a story restored. If she is lost forever, at least her memory deserves honesty. Because history is not just about kings and queens, it's about truth. And some truths belong to the dead as much as to the living. The candidate is the so-called Kiev 21b mummy, one of two unidentified women found in Tomb Cave 21 in the Valley of the Kings. Genetic studies have linked her, albeit weakly, to the late 18th dynasty royal line. In other words, she belonged to the same family tree that included Tutankhamun. For many, that makes her the strongest candidate yet for the long-lost queen. But candidate is key. The DNA data is partial, fragmented, and incomplete. In the landmark 2010 study looking at royal mummies, the genetic profile from KBEV 21b was insufficient to draw a firm conclusion. Several Egyptologists argue that because of close family intermarriage and degraded DNA, genetic links can be misleading. Beyond genetics, other investigations, including CT scans and physical comparisons to the iconic bust of Nefertiti, have not confirmed a match. Features such as age at death, cranial shape, and bone damage diverge from expectations. In short, this might be the queen, or it might simply be another noble woman of her era. What we can say with confidence is this: the search for Nefertiti's remains has entered a new phase. Modern DNA sequencing, imaging, and forensic techniques have transformed speculation into testable science. The possibility is tantalizing, but the evidence remains ambiguous, incomplete, contested, debated. And so the mystery endures, not as solved history, but as a challenge. If KV 21b is Nefertiti, we may finally understand the fates of a vanished dynasty. If not, then we need more data, better methods, and maybe even new discoveries. Until then, Nefertiti remains both lost and found, a ghost queen of gypsum and DNA, still waiting for confirm.